The old school RuneScape team just dropped the biggest teaser ever. I mean, they've been doing these teasers for a few leagues now. This is by far the biggest one they've ever dropped. This is Giganiminosaurus right here. We got a lot of people online. We're jumping into this. I don't want to take an hour and review everything super detail and like break it all down. Like, where's this good? What are the combos they can do with it? I think the beauty of leagues is for people to use their own imagination and creativity. Like, if we get caught up in the actual numbers of it, it's not as fun. My thoughts right away, they've released all the Echo bosses. Each region gets a new boss, and it drops a cool thing. My thoughts on these items is like pick the regions that you're going to enjoy and that you like, and then it's going to have some sick items in it. If you want to go super efficient with which region you pick, we don't know that yet. So don't even bother planning, because when they drop a heater of a thing like this, you're going to just have to go back to the drawing board. Okay, there's a video. If you want to watch that video, watch that video. But watch this video first. Thanks for watching this video. Put a like, put a comment on which regions you're picking or what you think about this, crazy update. Update, I guess, just teaser. November 27th can't come fast enough. I'm stoked for this. Beautiful looking infographics. When you click on these things, it switches them. It's all good. Everything's great. Here's what's going to happen. When you kill a boss in... Why does it have chicken feet? When you kill one of these bosses in leagues, each region has a boss that will drop like a little orb, an orb-looking thing that allows you to now kill the Echo variant, the hard mode. So just think about like Blood Torva, when you kill the the Desert Treasure 2 bosses, they drop the Orbj, and then you can use that to pop in. So once you kill the Echo variants, which are going to be beefed up, more difficult versions, you can now get some very cool upgrades. I don't know what the drop rates are going to be on these, but they're farmable. Once you get in once, you can farm the crap out of these bosses. You won't need to like get an orb every time you go to kill them, which is pretty sweet. Let's start off with the Asgarnia. I'm just going to go in order. Should I go in order? Yeah, I'm going to go in order. Asgarnia. I'm gonna go through the ones that are less cool and I'm going to take a bit more time on the ones that are cooler, that need more explaining, and I'm going to throw some use case scenarios, some things to think about. But again, we don't have all the details. I don't know what's going to be good or what's going to be bad yet. Once we can see all the relics, all the regions, all the items, all the buffs, everything, then we'll know. The biggest thing that I don't know yet is the combat masteries system. You're going to be able to tweak your combat stats in different ways and kind of buff things in different ways. And like this might change how these weapons work completely. So take this all at face value. Starting with Asgarnia, the boss is going to be Cerberus. When you kill Cerberus, you get an orb, you pop in, you kill the Echo variant. It will drop the Dog Sword. Amazing name. One of the best names they've ever had in RuneScape. None of this Huey Coital, none of this Amoxilic Totally Bodal, none of that crap. They're just going with Dog Sword. I love it. It's amazing. The Dog Sword, the DOG is God backwards. It's a little inside joke, a little nice little blemishy little flibbity bibbit that they've done on it. Okay, it's got the exact same stats as a God Sword, so it's not buffed there. But what does it do? Look, it has a special attack, costs 50%, and it specs all 4 God Swords at once. So this is a good one to start us off with, to introduce us to the idea of what an Echo drop is, like an Echo variant drop is. You're combining the 5 God Swords. So, yeah, basically, Armadyl God Sword is more damage and more accuracy. The Bandos God Sword, it's going to reduce the defense based on how much damage you do. The Zami God Sword, it'll freeze the target for 20 seconds, which could be great, could be useless, or could actually be bad in some scenarios. Saradomin God Sword restores your hit points in prayer based on the damage dealt. That is very good, unless you want to keep your hit points low for like DH or something. And then DH, you want to keep it low, but Berserker. There's a relic from last league called the Berserker, which was like a fan favorite. Everyone loved it that used it. That makes it so your damage goes up based on how low your hit points is. So, I mean, that could be bad for that. The Ancient God Sword also will heal you 25. So I'm picturing this thing hitting humongous numbers, 200s with the spec. You're going to be able to spec twice in a row. You could probably spec more if there's a relic that lets you use more special attacks, but this thing's crazy. Super powerful, but pretty easy to understand what it does. It's pretty straightforward. Let's go to another one where it's easy to see. The Desert has a Calphite Queen variant, and it's going to drop the Dry Gore Blowpipe. We could probably use another Blowpipe in the game, but just not like this. This is insanely powerful. The stats right away, it's more accurate. It's almost double the accuracy for the pipe alone. The attack rate is still going to be that 2-tick, dart flubber thingy. This one uses darts for ammunition, obviously. Like you need to put dragon darts in it. If you have the desert unlocked to get this, you're going to get dragon darts from TOA. You're going to be able to make rune darts, especially if you're picking the mining relic. It's going to give you a shitload of rune bars. So you'll be able to keep this thing pretty stacked up. No Zelra scales needed. That's obviously huge. But yeah, what does this do? It rolls for accuracy twice, taking the highest roll. So it'll roll once. Oh, I missed. I hit a 0. Roll it again. You're essentially never going to hit zeros with this blowpipe, and it's going to do a crap load of damage, and it's going to be awesome. If there is a way to make the blowpipe hit every single tick, like a 1-tick weapon as opposed to a 2-tick weapon, this is going to be nuts. This is going to be insane DPS. It's going to be super accurate. It's going to hit a lot of damage. It's whatever. It's not going to be the biggest numbers, but the accuracy and the speed is what makes this good. This is a kind of a noob-friendly item as well. Just like the God Sword, very easy to understand what this is. Big sword, use spec, happy. This one, blowpipe, pipe some things, happy. Now, getting into some crazy numbers and stuff like that for the Mauritania region. The boss will be the Grotesque Gargolons, everyone's favorite boss. A lot of people hate this boss. I don't think it's that bad. It's not my favorite, but it's going to drop Barrow's Gloves, which is good, because now you have some gloves. If you didn't have these, you would be using a regen bracelet. So this thing is going to be good, stats-wise is what I'm saying. But it counts as wearing an Amulet of the Damned. A lot of people don't know what that thing does. But it also doubles the effect of all Barrow's sets and the Amulet of the Damned additions. Okay, I am opening up. There's a wiki thing here, a new tab. Shows you all of the things that are dropped. The Gloves of the Damned. So the stats are Barrow's Gloves. This is what it's going to do to stuff. Right away, the one you need to know about, you will be able to deal 200% damage with DH. Okay? What is that number going to look like? 328 max hit. The numbers have been crunched. This setup here is Mauritania plus Femic. We'll get into those. The ring and the amulet. What are those? Yeah, we're going to get into those. But this is essentially what you could hit. The DPS would be 45 damage per second on average. From what we know currently. Keep that in mind. This could go up with the variants and all this other crap that's coming, the new relics, etc., etc. But just taking from what we know, DH will be hitting 300s. At worst, it's going to be hitting 200s, because in the main game, it hits 100s. So by going 194%, by doubling it, it's going to hit 200s, right? So it's insane. There's also, while you're wearing it, there's a 50% chance of recoiling, 30% damage taken. It can stack with Vengeance and recoil. That's irrelevant. You're going to be sitting at 1 HP if you're using this. You're not going to have any HP to recoil. So the Verax set will have a 50% chance of ignoring armor, defense, and protection prayers. So super accurate. This will be better than a Fang, essentially. Plus 14 prayer bonus for whatever that... It doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's nice. Successful melee attacks. So for Toreg, successful melee attacks have a 50% chance of lowering the victim's run energy by 40%. That does not matter unless you're in the wilderness and you're ragging people. Your defense is going to be increased by 2% for every hit point missing. You're just going to be an absolute tank in Toregs. Guthans could be insanely good for a lot of things. You might be able to completely AFK certain bosses, and this Guthan set will heal you entirely. If you have Mauritania, you're going to have a Blood Fury, and if you have full Guthans on, you're going to be able to heal 50% of what damage is being done. Like, it's going to be a lot of health coming back to you. Carols, essentially, you're going to lower their agility, whatever. 50% chance of hitting twice. The second hit will do half the damage of the first hit. This won't be that good. This might be your best ranged gear, depending on which regions you're picking. But yeah, I'd love to be. I don't know what the DPS numbers on that, but it's a nice little bonus there. Aram's could be insane. It could be so good. Aram's staff can autocast ancient magics. If you're wearing these Echo gloves, you'll also get a 50% chance to deal 60% more damage with Aram's. Which is, I mean, the numbers on that are shocking me. If you're doing like an Ice Barrage task, or you're just casting regular Ice Barrage, you're going to be hitting 60% more damage on things. So there's some crazy like bonuses and set effects that you can go for with the Mauritania drop here. The gloves are very cool. Keep in mind, they are gloves. There might be some more gloves coming, all right? Stick around for the final reveal, the new Varlamore reveal. That one's got some crazy stuff in it. So, Wilderness. Some of these regions are a little dry. The Wilderness doesn't have enough in it that is critical to accounts. So they've thrown 2 Echo drops in, which is very cool. Right away, the Thunder Kopesh is a cool looking squiggle sword with 100 strength bonus. Now, if we look right away at the Blade of Saildor, this thing has 89 strength bonus. So you're picturing like an insanely good melee slash weapon. It's a 4-tick attack, so you're essentially getting a Blade of Saildor that's 10% more damage. The slash bonus as well is extremely high, very accurate. But here's where it matters. The special attack that uses 50% attacks twice. If either attack is successful, meaning if you don't hit a 0, an additional lightning bolt is summoned, rolling up to 100% of the original attack's max hit. So if you do not hit 0 with 2 attacks, the special attack is a DDS. It hits twice. If you hit 0-0, you're fucked. If you don't hit 0-0, then it'll roll a third one. So if I'm picturing a Blade of Saildor in like max gear can hit 50s and 60s, you're going to be able to spec like 150 damage. But that's not even accounting for if Berserker is back, if you have damage bonuses another way. Craziness. Special effects, it deals full damage to Corp. The other special effect, this is insane, is that it has a 20% chance to hit everything in the 3x3 radius with 50% of the original attacks hit. Right away, if you have this region, Wilderness, Wildy Slayer is a joke with melee now. You're going to be smoking those things in multi. Going to be hilarious. It's just going to be so fast, like doing jelly tasks or abyssal demon tasks, stuff like that. You're just going to walk through melee combat training and Slayer training and stuff like that. So that looks pretty fun. If you're going to pick another region where multi-combat works, like picture like Maiden. You're just gonna be able to hit one crab and just it'll hit the boss and the crabs and everything 3x3 radius. So very cool, a lot of fun things to do. The 1,000 Dragon Ward, isn't that a Blue Eyes 1,000 Dragon? I don't know. There's like a reference here or something. 1,000 Island, maybe 1,000 Island's dressing for salad. Let me know what you think this is a reference of. The stats on this are Gineminosaurus. The melee strength is +12. I believe in Avernic is 8. I should have looked that up. The defense stats are okay. 25 range attack bonuses is pretty darn good. 6 prayer bonus. That's pretty helpful for something else on the list as well. That's more prayer bonus than anything in the game. So this thing grants you immunity to status effects. All of them. So poison, venom, dragonfire, Mortmire decay, like brimstone dungeon floor, everything. Like there was a relic that this used to be, and it no longer is the thing. So it's now a shield. So that's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet little offhand that you can get. So now If you wanted to do a melee build, you actually don't need to take Mauritania. You can go for the Thunder Kopesh and the Thousand Dragon Ward, and you are now good to go. So, very cool. We're hopping over to Candurin. Yes, I'd like 1 can of Durins. It sounds like Doritos or like Pringles or something. Thermonuclear Smoke Devil. This is a big floppy scribble bob. He just kind of wiggles back and forth. He's kind of cool. He got 1 big eye on the front. Nice guy. Would recommend. This thing's going to drop an offhanded incense burner shield. It's a shield item that, I don't know, it's weird, man. The magic strength bonus on this is 6%. So you're not using this with a shadow because that's a 2-handed weapon. You're using this with probably like a harm orb, if you can get your hand on one, a smoke battle staff, which you'll be able to get your hand on. I guess the harm orb is good, but it's just good because it makes it 4-tick. Yeah. So smoke battle staff plus this huge attack bonus, great strength bonus for magic, but what it does is it provides unlimited elemental runes. Yay! I mean, that's just a side effect of it. That's not really what it actually does. Elemental attacks that exploit NPCs' weaknesses are doubled. So once again, I've done my homework. I've pulled up the elemental weakness chart here. List of NPCs with elemental weaknesses. Sorted by percentage. For some reason, if you are going to Nex, these things are 200% weak to fire. I never knew that. I'm going to try that to see if that's faster than using a blowpipe. I doubt it. If you're going to Chambers, your 150% damage and accuracy bonus to Ice Demon is going to be 300%. Fire Giants are going to get smoked, like absolutely demolished with water spells. You're going to be hitting 50s regularly, so hundreds? I don't even. You're going to be hitting a lot of damage. Frost Crabs, Ice Giants. What kind of bosses do we have on here? Well, you got the Hueycodals 60% with Earth spells, so now you're going to 120%. I didn't know that the Abyssal Portal has a weakness to fire. I'm going to try that because doing some Abyssal Demon Portal thingy-majiggly Vespula in-game right now kind of sucks with a Rune Crossbow on the hardcore. Araxor. Maybe it's good at Araxor. Maybe that's a new meta if you're a mage build. There's all kinds of stuff on here. Definitely don't want to go through the whole list. I mean, Darok, the Wretched, you're going to one-hit these things anyways in leagues, so I don't know why that would matter too much. But yeah, essentially, this thing looks simple. It looks simple. There's going to be some places where it's meta, but it's not going to be game-breaking. It's not nearly as crazy as some of these other ones. The next one is Femic. Very easy to decipher and plan for what this is good at. Femic sucks as a region in leagues past. There's 3 bosses. There's DKs. There's Duke if you've got Desert. And there's Muspa. And I'm sure I'm missing one. I always miss one, at least. But for the most part, there isn't a ton of content here for PVM specifically. And when you wanted to upgrade your account to have like a crazy PVM build, you don't take Femic. There's nothing out there that was moving the needle. This moves the needle, all right? 15 strength bonus on an amulet is more than we're used to. This is almost double the accuracy of a Torture. 15 range strength. That is triple the range strength that was offered from an Anguish, basically. And the magic damage is double. 10% instead of 5% from the Occult Necklace. Yes, they changed the Occult down to 5. It used to be 10. When you factor in that this is tripled with a Shadow, if you're picking the Mage route and you're going Shadow route, you have to have this because that is now 30% extra damage. That's going to be the way to hit the huge numbers this league, is to pick this area. If you want to do the big numbers. So as I showed with this, we've got the amulet and the ring on, and your max hit goes turbo high, very, very high. Yeah, this is very interesting to me. But again, is it, I flipped the wrong one there. Is this fun? Yeah, big numbers is fun. Accuracy is fun. For my playstyle, I want a weapon, man. I want to get my hands on like a weapon or something that changes how you play or something like that. So we're not there yet. Taranwin, the boss, is going to be Hunlif. This is the little Prifdinnis area. You get a Crystal Blessing. It's something that they could add this to the main game. I'm not going to lie. It's not super turbo overpowered from what I can tell. You get 5 prayer bonus from it, which is, you know, pretty chonky. The current biggest prayer bonus from Blessing is 2. The crystal armor bonuses for accuracy and damage apply to all melee weapons while equipped. So what does that mean? So when you have a Bofa on, a Bow of Fairden Habelhuben, and you put full crystal on, it boosts its accuracy by 30% and damage by 15%. Same thing for now with melee items. So you'll be rocking full crystal, and you'll be using that with the thingy for your melee weapons. This could be very good. I just think instead of using crystal and the blessing, you could just use Torva. Like if you picked Asgarnia, the damage will be close at least. It might not be the same. So I don't know. This is one of those like, oh, it's a nice bonus. If you pick this area for different reasons, this is a nice bonus, but it's not a reason to go to Prif. So far, there might be something that changes that, where that's all flipped on its head, and this becomes like one of the best regions to pick for damage and output and all that good stuff. Whatever. Hespori. I don't know what the heck this is from Hespori. It looks hilarious. So if you pick the Korend region, the Echo boss is going to be Hespori. You don't need to grow it and kill it every time. You're just going to be able to repeat this boss. But what it drops is a Tribrid melee weapon, range weapon, and mage weapon all in one that is essentially a salamander. No one really uses salamanders, but you can hit with all 3 combat styles with a salamander, just depending on which one you pick. This has some crazy stats. The damage for what this can hit is going to be pretty big. It's got a 5 attack speed, or 4 on rapid, it looks like. It's got a 7 range, so I think you can hit like Zuck with that. I might be wrong there. Magic strength is 12% on that. Range strength is 92. Like, we don't know what really numbers this can hit. Right away, the base magic hit will be your magic level minus 15 divided by 3 plus 3. Like, they give us some of these numbers. So, okay, let me look at that. So if you have 99, you subtract 15, you got 84. That's in brackets. Divide the 84 by 3, 28, and then add 3, 31. So if you have 99 mage, your base hit is going to be 31 with this. And then once you add on the magic strength % damage, as well as the gear that you're wearing, if you put on an occult necklace, if you put on the other necklaces, stuff like that, you'll have ancestral in this region. Like, your numbers are going to go pretty high. And then if you're talking about some of these relics that allow you to hit every 2 ticks with a certain combat style, you could be absolutely smoking stuff. Regardless of what you pick, you're going to be absolutely smoking stuff. Last league, you kept it simple. You picked the range relic and you used a rune crossbow with ruby bolts. Didn't need to get crazy, but now we have fun weapons that are just like, I don't know if this is good or not. Just pick it and have fun. Like, that's kind of where we're at. Yeah, Hespori. I don't know. The Nature's Reprisal. It looks freaking crazy. So, the last region. What is it going to be? A double. I was looking at Varlamore and I talked crap about it in a previous video. Go watch those if you haven't seen them. Because there wasn't like enough. There wasn't enough coming from here. They have ranked the Soulherit as the hardest Echo boss to kill. Once you kill the regular version, which again, if you suck at RuneScape, which is fine, I love it, you can kill the Colosseum, or, you know, get through the Colosseum in leagues because of how easy it'll be with all the buffs and stuff like that. You'll be able to get to this, and then this is a repeatable boss that you can just keep trying until you kill it, and then you get some drops. It will drop essentially 3 things. It's 2 things that it drops. It drops the Sunlight Spear, but that's a 2-handed weapon. It comes with a shield. It's just cosmetically comes with a shield. So it has some pretty solid defense bonuses right off the hop. If you look at the Wilderness, the Thousand Dragon Ward has 50 in each of these stats, whereas this one has 70 in all of these stats, pretty much. So good defense bonus. For the melee strength, the closest thing that I could find to comparable is a 5-tick weapon. Melee strength would be like a zombie axe. Zombie axe can hit some numbers, okay? So right away, I've opened up a DPS calculator. Your zombie axe with like a standard setup would be able to do 41 damage, 47 damage right here. 47 damage. We haven't gotten to the good part though. What does this special attack do? When you attack something, you get a sunlight stack. You know the Soul Reaper axe where every time you hit, you get a stack and you get 5 and then you can do a special attack? Yeah, this one, once you have 7 sunlight stacks, you hit the number, you hit the button, and it will unleash an attack that hits every NPC within 3 tiles of the player, which is pretty big. And it will do damage to those things increased. Get this, guys. This is crazy. Increased by 3% per prayer bonus. Not strength bonus, prayer bonus. So back to the DPS calculator. If we go for, again, I'm using the zombie axe as a placeholder for this thing. This has 107 strength bonus, whereas this guy's got 113. So when you combine this with, I guess you wouldn't have the shield. When you combine it with the shield there, it's got enough strength. Anyways, this is what we're looking at. Roughly this kind of number here. You got like a 41 as your base maximum hit. And what I've done is you go aggressive, you go super combat potion, you go just ultimate strength. Like if you've got piety, it's even better. But this is for some prayer bonus that you can get if you pick Varlamore. You can get the Soul Cape, you can get the Gothic Stole, you can get a regular blessing, you can get all this stuff. Now you could upgrade some of these. Like you could pick the crazy amulet from that from Femic. You could pick some better boots, stuff like that. Again, I'm rambling. This thing has 49 prayer bonus. So right away, what was it talking about? For every prayer bonus you have, your max hit is increased by 3%. So 49 times 3, so 147% essentially of your hit. So if we said the max was 41, and then you times that by 1.47, and then you add the 41 back on, right? I don't know. Check my math and put it in the comments. You'll be hitting big numbers, but that's 100 damage, and it'll be per thing. Like, it hits everything within a 3-tile radius. Again, it's a special attack that builds up with time. You get 7 stacks before you can do this. Yeah, it's very fun. I don't know. It's just going to be a fun thing to play around with. This is the Grandmaster boss. They said it's going to be very hard, this Echo variant, which is cool. Don't go anywhere, because there's a second drop from this boss. The Sunlit Bracers, lad, okay? The melee strength on this is 8. That's the same as Rune Gloves. The range strength is 4, which is actually really good. And no magic strength. You've got some nice bonuses to attack as well, and some defense. But all healing received while wearing these is increased by 100%. That's kind of a lot. If you are wearing a Blood Fury and you have the Sunlight Spear, and you're just smacking some stuff and the Blood Fury's going off and healing you, it'll just double how much it heals. You're not gonna need food, guys. You're just gonna stand back and hit stuff and go AFK and walk your dog to McDonald's, buy a double Big Mac with a large Sprite and a fries, extra salt, and then a couple apple pies. What else could you get with that? Sorry, sidetracked. Craziness. We got some crazy stuff. These reveals are wild. What has this done to your choices? Have you changed your mind on which regions you're picking? I gotta say, this is gonna change every video. I want to take Mauritania just because of Tob. I want to do Tob with the boys. I want to do some Tobs on stream with whoever wants to join. I'll carry you through. I'll do some Anyways, I want to get Tob for sure. Before this came out, I was thinking Asgarnia for sure. Like, just get the full Torva, get the cool items from that. You can get the boots, you can get whatever else. There's a lot of content in Asgarnia that is nice, and I like the region. It looks fun. I've done it, in previous leagues. It's fun. I can do some necks with some crazy melee gear. My third region, I had no clue what I wanted to do yet. But now I'm like, dude, the Wildy, the Thunder Kopesh looks really cool. Is that a waste to get this if I've already got if I'm going the full DH build? Like, I don't want to spoon myself or force myself into the DH build, but I don't know, the Wildy looks pretty good. Now, Varlamore looks pretty good. Not only does this look good, I kind of want to fight that freaking hard boss. You know what I'm talking about? Good content, good fun, lifelong memories with friends. Smash the like button, yep, and then thank for subscribe. Goodbye.